Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, here to bring you another episode review from Season 6 of The Loud House. Today's episode is titled, A Stella Performance. First we'll discuss the plot, and then my thoughts and critiques with my final score. So, let's get right into it. In this episode, Lincoln and his friends try to help Stella get a boost in her confidence before she has to give a public presentation on her first place middle school science fair project. But when Zach's audio tape method not only gives Stella the confidence she needs before she heads off to the state science fair, it also causes her to act like an alien because of what was not supposed to be on the tape, thus leading to an awkward and ruined presentation. The episode ends with Stella losing the competition, but feeling great knowing she was able to overcome her childhood fear. Well, that concludes the plot of the episode, so now we come to my thoughts and critiques. It may have taken a long time, but at last Stella finally got her own spotlight episode, and I can say with certainty it was worth the wait. She was one of the two highlight characters of the episode, and it's very easy to see why. We get a better understanding of who Stella is and what defines her character beyond the generic status of being just the girl in Lincoln's friend group. She appears to have an interest in science and technology, as seen with her sandwich-making invention known as the Coaster Toaster. We also got a glimpse into her childhood and learned that she's always had a fear of public speaking after she accidentally referred to one of her teachers as her mommy in front of everyone at her old school. As someone who used to struggle with public speaking during his school days, I found this episode to be very relatable because I can sympathize with Stella and what she was feeling. When you say something very embarrassing in front of your classmates, I think you can understand why she lacks confidence and never again wants to give a speech in front of that many people. Now, before anyone says anything, Stellas Revelation is not a contradiction to any previous episode where she's seen talking directly to an audience. She has never once been seen giving a pre-planned formal presentation while facing a crowd, including a significantly large one, and always spoke directly from the heart. In this episode, she gives a more informal presentation to a significantly smaller crowd, both in the gym and in the cafeteria. It may seem like a confusing and inconsistent argument, but compare her actions between this episode and previous ones, including the moments where she's part of the Action News team, and hopefully you'll see what I'm getting at. Anyway, that's when Rusty offered Stella some tips on how she can overcome her problem, but clearly those tips only work for an overly confident guy like him and not her. Visually speaking, Stella trying out Rusty's methods were kinda funny, and even though I understood the idea in doing them, they didn't really do much to help resolve the actual public speaking part of her problem. Liam's method of practicing in front of a crowd was more ideal, even if the audience was mostly just a bunch of farm animals. Eventually, Zach offered his own method by having Stella listen to some kind of hypnotic audio tape while she was sleeping, and it actually worked, for the most part. Zach proved once before he's good at hypnotism, as seen in the episode Saved by the Spell, so credit to keeping that minor part of his character consistent. However, Stella started acting really strange despite getting a boost in her public speaking skills, and the weird change in her behavior could be traced back to Zach's audio tape. It turned out he had recorded over his parents' alien tape and accidentally kept the part where his mom talks about blending in with aliens. This included walking backwards, eating by slamming your face into food, and speaking in some weird alien language. Seems like a bizarre plot reveal, and it kinda is, but I'll admit Stella acting like an alien was worth a few laughs. It was ridiculously silly, but in a humorous way. Of course, the ridiculousness of this episode doesn't end there, but before I talk about that, I want to quickly talk about the other highlight character of the episode, Principal Ramirez. Not only did I get a kick out of her being a total fangirl when it came to supporting Stella and representing their middle school at the state science fair and taking her passion to crazy lengths and heights, metaphorically and literally, I really liked how she was both a voice of reason and the ultimate confidence boost when it came to the teacher-student relationship she had with the episode's main character. She explained how even though she wasn't good at teaching when she was first starting out, she didn't let her embarrassing moments stop her. She kept working hard to become a better teacher, and she would have never landed her current job as a middle school principal if she gave up. I know I could technically say her situation and Stella's are not really the same, since I would assume Ramirez always had a passion for teaching, and I don't believe Stella ever really had a passion for giving formal presentations to large crowds, but the main selling point to their respective conflicts would be that the only way to do better is to keep trying despite whatever humiliating moments come your way. In other words, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits, and that's a lesson Ramirez wanted her student to embrace. It's clear Stella really took her principal's words to heart by the end, and she was confident enough to go back on stage to finish her presentation, which brings me to my biggest negative of the episode. Even though Stella was able to get Zach to unhypnotize her, she ended up losing the state science fair anyway because the judges were lactose intolerant. Like, okay, how is she supposed to know that? But more importantly, what does lactose intolerance and therefore not being able to properly digest cheese have anything to do with Stella's award-winning invention? These judges outright denied a well-earned victory to a very intelligent student all because they they can't handle dairy products, which again has zero to do with Stella's invention. Would things have worked out differently if her invention didn't use cheese? This moment could theoretically damage Stella's confidence going forward, since the judge's BS reasoning for giving her a loss could have her questioning what might personally turn off the people she's trying to impress the next time she gives a presentation. Her winning the state science fair would have been a better ending considering everything she went through in order to get to where she needed to be, but as the old saying goes, for the ending we got, it just is what it is, and it's a real shame too. Overall, despite my complaint with the ending with the judges and my little hang-up about the alien audio tape, this was still a great and relatable episode because it finally gave some much needed depth and development to Stella's character. She had some silly but humorous moments trying to follow Rusty and Liam's methods to help boost her confidence, as well as talking and acting like an alien. Principal Ramirez also had some compassionate and hilarious character moments, and her relationship with Stella was something I greatly appreciated. The only other thing I can say is this was Haley Chu's best performance in the series so far, and even if this might be the only time where her signature character is in the spotlight, you couldn't ask for a better episode than this, but that's just my take. With that said, I give A Stella Performance a 9 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of A Stella Performance. I will end this review with one bit of advice. When visiting a farm, never say the word butchering in front of the animals. The kids found out what happens when you inadvertently bring up the true purpose of a farm animal's existence. Then again, there was that one time the kids were eating bacon and Liam's pig was right there watching them eat it, so I guess saying the B word can go either way. But anyhow, as far as the rest of this episode goes, what did you guys think of it? Love it? Hate it? Something you would add? Change? Keep it as it is? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest Loud House content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.